guys have brought another topic that we can discuss here today. Recently I've been bringing out tweets for us to react to, so I think it's also necessary so that we at least we'll be able to talk about things that are relatable, things that people are passing through, you understand? So I saw these tweets during the week, that type of ability that you might have come across it also because it's all over in the internet. So this person is saying that an acquaintance of mine is getting married tomorrow in his fiance's church. The presiding pastor told him to cut off his beard or he won't officiate the wedding. He refused. Fiancé is pleading that he should comply. Should he cut off the beard or look for another church to wed? That's the question. That should he cut off the beard or look for another church to wed? So, updates. So the wedding did not hold that yesterday. You know, the guy said he's supposed to get married tomorrow. So the update is now saying that the wedding did not hold. So the wedding did not hold yesterday. He suggested course as they already did traditional, but she insisted on the church wedding, meaning she still wants him to cut off the beard. So, and meaning she still wants him to cut off the beard, and the guy is saying no, he cannot cut off his beard. This is what we call problem. Yeah. Hi guys, you're welcome to Ayonintemi TV. So if you are new here, this is Ayonintemi TV. We discuss everything about marriage, everything about relationship issues, relatable issues. We discuss about it here. So if you're a returning subscriber, guys, we love you so much. So today we are going to be discussing about this topic of, I actually want to talk about this church wedding palaver with couples and all of that. So let's get right into the video. You know, this guy is saying that they want to get married in church. The pastor is saying that if he did not cut off his beard, they will not join them together. The wife is saying that they must do church wedding and she cut off his beard. The guy was saying no, he's not cutting off his beard. He's not interested in church wedding anymore. So problem has jammed problem. So let's talk about it. What do you think about this first of all? So I will drop it in the comment section. What do you feel about this? But let me drop my own opinion here. So, you know, it's actually been a while. I really wanted to do something. I really wanted to do a video on this, but thank God this came up. So let me just do it together. It's all this palaver of church want this, I don't want this, I'm not doing it again. See, life is not hard. Seriously. Life is not hard. This life is not hard. It's really not hard to be giving yourself unnecessary stress. Seriously, yes. You know, the thing is that number one, if you know that you want to do church wedding, every church has their own doctrine, their rules and regulation pertaining this. When I wanted to get married, yes, there was rules and regulation. I know my church doctrines. So if you know that you want to do church wedding, then you must, especially when they have given you the rules, then you must abide by the rules if you know that you want to do church wedding. So all this what's it called? You already know the doctrine of your church. You already know their opinion about wedding gowns. There's some churches that they don't want the bride's wedding gowns to be flowing. You already know this. You already know that your church will not accept that your wedding gown should be flowing. Then why are you doing it? And you now get to, what's it called? Some churches will now say, okay, bring your wedding gown for inspection. they will not start saying that, okay, you should cut this off, you should remove this. There's some churches that they will say, okay, they don't want a kind of material for your wedding gown, they don't want net, they don't want lace and all of that. If you know that you really want to do church wedding, then abide and avoid all this drama. See, give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. You want to do church wedding, you agree to do church wedding, you like to do church wedding, then you should be ready to abide by the church doctrine, by the church rules and regulations concerning their wedding program, and stop the drama. Some churches don't want you to wear earring. Some churches don't want you to do makeup. You will not do makeup and you will bring it to church, and there will not be embarrassment that, oh yeah, go and wash your face. No, now. So stop the drama. It's just a day. That day just give it to them. Give it to them and just avoid those dramas. If your child say, okay, they don't want you to use a flowing gown for your wedding ceremony, let me give you something that you can. Let me give you what you can even do easily or simple. Your child doesn't want you to wear flowing wedding gown. They don't want you to wear lace. You can just do something. You can, if you have the money, you can sew two. You can sew two gowns. I'm a fan of modesty. I won't say that I won't support I won't support exposing clothes. Yes, I won't support it. If it's something that is still modest and they say that you should not do this, you should not do that, you can sew what you want, what you love. You can sew it and use it for your wedding shoot in the morning. You can sew what you want. You want to use it to be flowing, like Cinderella vibe and all of that, like flowing all over. You can sew that and use it to do wedding shoots, like early in the morning. Try to snap your pictures, find pictures with your dream wedding gown. Snap it very well, and now have another gown that you now wear to church. Very simple gown, clean white gown, just to avoid drama. They will say, no, this girl, she's a law-abiding girl, she's a good girl. She be in church, they don't want you to wear it too. Not for your wedding pictures. Then wear it to church and avoid the drama. So, BS, your wife to be want to do church wedding, and you are saying that because of, so there's some things that it does not worth it. When you look at what am I going to lose, what am I going to gain, at the end of the day, you just prioritize your peace. It is just that day, bros. You cannot sacrifice your BS. So because of BS now, you and your fiancé, you want to be having basketballs. If the is for that day, I've seen a video of a guy that he was cutting his BS in church. Yes, he was cutting it when the pastor also complained about his BS, just for the sake of what? For the sake of peace. There's some things that don't just worth it. There was a tweet I read recently too about a lady broke up with his fiancé. They were already preparing for their marriage. So what happened was that the mother-in-law insisted that the woman should be calling the husband brother, or the husband sibling, should be calling them, you know how Yoruba culture is now, to be calling them brother, auntie, brother, sister, all those things. So, and the lady said no, that she's older than all of them, that why would she be calling them auntie, brother, sister? And I think the guy also kind of, I don't know what's up with the guy, but because of that, the marriage relationship, the relationship just scattered, because of the lady said she cannot call the husband younger siblings, cannot call them brother, sister. If I want to talk about that, see, it depends. Maybe that's what they want, for you to be calling them brother, sister. Call them just to prioritize your peace. But of course, if you now see that, okay, this guy is still like a mama's rapper, you understand, like the guy is also saying, hey, you must call my siblings, you must call them kiniko, you must call them name, you must call them brother, you must call them sister. That is not even the issue now. The issue is that anything these guys are bringing up in the future, that is just the foundation of the marriage, right? Anything that probably the mother said you must do this, and the husband said yes, we must do it. The mother is saying that Shola, you must do this, and the husband is saying yes, that is what we are going to do, my wife. No, it's already mama's wrapper, except that. But if you know, okay, this is how they used to do in your family. I'm not sure I'm interested, because I'm still in the beginning of this relationship. In marriage, that means that is this woman that I be dictating for my husband. That is still understandable, but sometimes some things don't just worth it. I want to mention stories, just for us to be able to relate to it. But the story of a lady I also had that she was not ready to abide with the church doctrine, with the church rules and regulation regarding wedding program, them conducting the wedding. So the lady was not ready to abide by the rules that don't use this, don't use that, don't use this, don't use that. And the parents also said, if you are not complying, if you are not doing church wedding, then we are not interested in traditional marriage. That was what the parents said, that if you are not doing church wedding because of this, because they told you not to use this, not to use that, and I said no, I'm not doing it again. The parents was like, okay, we are not accepting bride price. We are not doing traditional wedding. On that condition, only if you do church wedding there. It's not even because of church wedding is the most recognized, it's not the most important part of the marriage, you understand? So, but when the parents now insisted that until you do church wedding, then we accept bride price, do you know what they did? They're like, okay, no problem. They went to court and they did their wedding and what's it called, and japa, you understand? So they japa without doing their traditional wedding, because the church said she must not use this, she must not use that. And the parents also said, if you are not abiding with the church rules and regulation regarding this, which we are not interested in the marriage. And they went to court to do their wedding, and that was all. To me too, that does not make sense. Seriously, does not make sense. Your parents said, okay, it's until you do just for the sake of your parents. For the sake of your parents, it is just a day. See, it is just a day event. Follow what the church wants you to do. Just like I said earlier, do your paparazzi in the hotel, snap your pictures, look good. It is those pictures that you'll be seeing in the future that will make you to be blushing. You understand? So, and whatever the church now wants, do it for them, for the wedding program, for the church wedding. And you can see a so modest dress for your reception, and you will still look good. I'm sure that church cannot dictate what you are going to wear in your reception. They can't dictate that one because of the bas. You do not do traditional wedding. You disobeyed your parents. God forbid, if anything happens in the future, you now start thinking that is it because of this, because we not receive marriage blessing from our parents. As a matter of fact, you have not even paid the bride price, so you are sleeping with somebody else's daughter. If you weigh it, does it worth it? Does it worth it? Church said you should do this. So if you know that you want to do church wedding, they abide by their rules. There are ways to navigate this in order to avoid drama. So if you already know what they want and what they don't want, there is no point disobeying them, because trust me, some churches will embarrass you. They don't care. Some churches will embarrass. I've seen a lot of videos that the pastor will embarrass the bride, they will embarrass the groom, and there is nothing you can do about it because it's their church. Yes, it's their church. So instead of the drama, instead of the embarrassment, just abide, just comply. It is just for that day. It is just for the wedding program. Snap good pictures. Sew another gown to your taste. Modest gown. I won't tell you to expose your body. I'm not an advocate of exposing body. I am an advocate of modesty. Yes, modesty. If you want that flowing gown, all those paparazzi, snap it before the wedding. Snap it before the church wedding. And get a simple gown for church. Simple gown, white gown, there's no design, no shine. Some churches say they don't want some churches say they don't want shine. I remember one of my friends, they told that she go and remove all the shine on her dress. You understand? So don't give yourself unnecessary. In fact, those kind of gown, they're even cheap. Just wear something simple. Join you together, off it, and what's it called? Wear another dress for reception, and you're good to go. But it's all like, life is not hard, right? Life is not hard. So these people now, I know that present updates, but it would be foolish of the guy to lose this lady because of this, because of BS. Doesn't even make sense. Like, you say, okay, I broke up with my fiancé, a date a wedding because the church said I should go and cut off my BS. Like, does it make sense? If it's something that is more serious, yeah. If it's something that is more serious, yes, we can consider that. But because of BS, some people, they tell them to go and cut their nails, different things. So it's just for that, just sacrifice. I say sacrifice. Just sacrifice it. That's just sacrifice, really. So if you cannot sacrifice, my point here is that if you cannot sacrifice your BS just to get married, like just to, because of just to have peace of mind. So do you know how many sacrifice you will still make in marriage? Like a lot of sacrifice that is not convenient for you, that you have to make. So there was a man of God that was saying that he has to cut off his BS because of his baby. Anytime he wants to carry the baby will be crying. It was after he cut off his BS that his baby allowed him to start carrying him. So that is just it. He had to sacrifice his BS for his baby. You understand? So if you now say no, okay, which one will you like? Okay, your baby you are looking scary in front of your baby. So because of that, you're not saying no, I'm not cutting it. You know? So there will be a lot of sacrifice that will be made in marriage. So if you cannot sacrifice your BS now, then do you know how many sacrifice you will make in marriage? So seriously, life is not hard. Some things don't just worth the wahala. Sometimes you just think about your peace of mind and just say, just carry your face. Say, let me just do this. Let me just do this for today. My BS will grow back. Abi, Kole. Let me just do this for today and move on with your life and have your peace of mind. So guys, I'm done with this topic. So what do you feel about this? What do you feel about it? Do you think that you should go and look for another church to wed, or you should cut off the BS? What do you think about this? I've dropped my own opinion. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share this video. So it's like, see you again in our next video. Kiss, bye bye.